Have you ever made a trading or an investment decision that you regretted afterwards? I definitely did, and at some point I thought that my decisions were the most stupid decisions in the whole world. And then recently I found this article which described very interesting statistics from the survey that was made only recently in the USA, and after reading this article I honestly started to feel so much better about the decisions that I made, and so I decided to make this video where I would share this article with you. We will read some parts of this article, and I will also make some comments about the investment and trading decisions that I made myself. So watch this video, and I also hope that it will make you feel better afterwards. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anastasia. On this channel I talk about investing, and especially investing for beginners. Whether you're a beginner or not, I'm sure all of us have made a lot of mistakes whilst investing, making certain decisions that in hindsight we wouldn't have done, and when you do it you whether feel ashamed to talk about it because you think that of course it was stupid, or you just feel upset about making that decision because it makes you feel bad about yourself and also about the money that you lost. So a company which is called Magnify Money has recently made a survey, and the results are actually very funny. They took a group of investors in the USA. The investors were of different age groups, and the purpose of this survey was to see how emotionally these people felt after making their investing decisions. So let's go through it one by one, and I encourage you to think about how you would answer these questions and how you would feel. I'm gonna tell you about my experience and my feelings as well as the video goes. So all the investors in the survey, they were divided into age groups, and I'm gonna tell you about these age groups so that you can determine which age group you would be a part of. Generation Z is people from 18 to 24 years old, millennials are 25 to 40 years old, and by looking at the statistics of my YouTube channel, I think the majority of us are millennials, including me. Generation X is 41 to 55 years old, and also baby boomers who are 56 to 75 years old. There was also a small part of so-called silent generation, which are people of 75 years of age, but their part was so little in this survey that it wasn't even included in the results. Unfortunately, these survey results don't show us the gender differences. That would also be very interesting to see, for me at least, because the statistics say that women have better results generally when investing than men, which is quite strange because it's a known fact, which might be false, I don't know, but the generally known fact is that women are more emotionally unstable and are more prone to some compulsive decisions that men apparently shouldn't make. Okay, so let's start reviewing the results of this survey one by one. 66 of the investors have said that they made an investing decision that they later regretted. And here I think really only 66%, and then this stat was also divided between different age groups. 85% of young people up to 24 years old said that they regretted their investing decisions, 73% of millennials, 60% of Generation X, and 54% of baby boomers. I honestly don't think that I believe these answers. I think absolutely every person, and I think it's normal to regret the decision that you made. Not all decisions, but some of them. I can talk for myself. I definitely regretted about a half of the decisions that I made, and I think the further you go, like the more experience you have in investing, the less regrets you have, which is normal because you are supposed to learn the lessons and improve your investing strategy year by year. Maybe this can explain the difference between the older and the younger generation. Only 50% of older generation regrets. Maybe that's because they forgot how they used to be when they started, because I am 100% sure that this result should be about 99%, and even then I would think that 1% just didn't tell the truth. Because seriously, can any one of you say that they never regret the decisions that they make? If you are one of those people, please leave the comment below, because I honestly don't think there are people like that. Okay, next one is very funny. 32% of investors have said that they made some trades when they were drunk. And the majority of those people, 59%, were from Generation Z. I am not surprised because obviously young generation are those people who probably joined such platforms as Robinhood or eToro. You know, these very user-friendly and easy to follow investing platforms, zero commission platforms, which made investing so easy. And I can also see them at a party just sharing this information about these platforms, joining them from their telephone straight away and investing just for fun. And it's probably those people who invested whilst they were drunk that then later also regretted their decision. As for my own trades and my own investments, I never invested into anything whilst I was drunk, but that's probably because I don't drink at all, or well, I can drink on very rare occasions, but I never get drunk as such, even though some of the decisions and some of the trades that I made probably look like I done them whilst I was drunk, or maybe even worse than drunk, but trust me, that could have been an impulsive decision, but not whilst I was drunk. Well, you have to trust my word. Okay, the next result tells us that the people who have a financial advisor managing their portfolios find it easier to keep their emotions out of their investing journey than those who manage their portfolios themselves. And those people who manage their portfolios themselves have reported that they have problems while sleeping, obviously they have higher stress levels and so on. It is pretty logical because if you have a financial advisor, then you sort of put all the responsibility on this person and you pay this person for that, whilst if you don't use a financial advisor, then all the responsibility is on you. You're saving your money in a way, but obviously you probably lose money as well because you take the decisions that the professional financial advisor wouldn't take. I personally don't use a financial advisor, and I don't know anyone who would use a financial advisor nowadays. Again, tell me in the comments if you use a financial advisor. It would be interesting to know how much they charge you and if you think this money is worth it. Maybe I haven't met a good financial advisor, that's why I don't use the service of one of them, but in general I think it's a waste of time and money because of the services and the platforms that are available, at least for me in the UK. If you are in the country where these commission-free platforms are not available and you have to register on more professional platforms which are more difficult for beginners, then of course I would see more point in hiring a financial advisor. The next result says that 58% of investors admit that their portfolio performs better when they keep the emotions out of their investing decisions. And 47% report that it is difficult to keep their emotions away from their portfolio. Again, it's pretty logical and it's the result that I would expect from this survey because, of course, emotions is something that you must not have at all when you invest. You cannot invest into Tesla, for example, just because you love Elon Musk, or invest into Nokia because you feel nostalgic about the times when this was a very good company. Look at numbers and see what these numbers show you. This is something that Warren Buffett has taught us, and this is something that he said everyone should do, and it makes sense, but still it is so much easier to say than to do it. You don't have to include your emotions when you think about whether you should or should not invest into a certain company. You just have to look at the numbers. Even the fact that you buy a certain product, for example, if you use Apple, right, if you buy iPhones, it doesn't mean that it is a good company to invest in. This is just an example, and I myself use iPhones and MacBooks, and I still invest into Apple just because it's a blue chip company and I don't think you can go wrong. But I'm sure you can find similar examples for your own situation where you buy a certain product of a certain brand, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is a good brand to invest in. I've made this mistake myself and I used emotions to invest into certain stocks and shares, and they definitely didn't perform well. Okay, Okay, and the last result is again quite funny because it says that 37% of investors have reported losing sleep worrying about stock market, and 30% cried over investing. I can talk for myself. I never lost sleep because of my investment decisions, and I definitely didn't cry. If I did anything, I laughed, even about the decisions that were definitely wrong. And I think the reason to that, the reason of why I sleep peacefully at night and don't cry about my investment decisions, even my investment mistakes, is because I never invest money that I cannot afford to lose. And this is the secret of how you can keep calm, because I don't think you can eliminate all mistakes and you can always make only right decisions when investing. So at some point you will definitely understand that decision that you made was wrong, but if you were prepared to lose this money in the first place, then you definitely will not start crying over something stupid like that. I feel sorry for those people because obviously they relied on the money that they lost, because otherwise I cannot explain why so many people, 30%, this is crazy, 30% cried. I also would like to see the gender differences. How many of those 30% were women and how many of those 30% were men? And honestly, I think the majority of those investors were women. Although of course some of them were men. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching this video today, and let me know in the comments what you think. Have you cried over your investment decisions and the money that you lost? Have you invested into something whilst you were drunk? I'd really like to read those comments. Thank you so much for your time and attention today, and I hope to see you soon in my next videos. Bye bye!